Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Zelda Speedruns. We have today the second semifinal in the Tears of the Kingdom tournament, any percent tournament, here between Sledgen and Gymnast in a best of 3. We have game 1 right now. We have on commentary Ferris Cube and Timber. How are you two doing?
Hello.
Doing well.
Yeah, excited to see who will get to the finals.
This is definitely going to be a really exciting match.
Yeah.
All right, we'll hand it over to the two of you, and we'll get this going shortly.
All right. So let's see. The runners will soon start their games. First thing to notice, I believe, both players are playing in different versions. Sledgen will be playing in version 1.1.2, while Gymnast will be playing, I believe, in version 1.0.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's gonna be really interesting to see. The runners have decided a set of rules to make this version difference a bit more fair. We all know that for any percent, the fastest version usually is 1.0, and that's for a couple reasons. So yeah, there's a couple rules to make that a bit more balanced. We won't be seeing the prologue of the game. We will start from what we call intro skip, which is a file at the beginning of the Great Sky Island.
Looks like
And
they also won't be doing the Zuggle for Ganon.
yeah,
Because
that's the other
1.0 is
difference.
definitely a big difference for the Zuggle use of Zuggle on Ganon, which should make at least that part a lot more fair.
Oh yeah. And another rule that's been decided is that we're gonna allow amiibo, which is interesting because it can impact on different things. One thing that we will need for the Ganon fight is either a ruby or a topaz that can be obtained from an amiibo, although the chances are really low, so I doubt that we will be seeing that use, but it can also give us different types of food that we don't have and that easy of an access in the Great Sky Island. And that food can, well, if we cook it, it can give us either attack up or speed up, which is useful for a speedrun, especially for that reason that we won't be able to Sagel for Ganondorf, and so Sagel is a way to deal way more damage to that fight, but another way, more mechanically intended for the game, it's to just get attack up food. I don't know if we will be seeing that. So yeah. Seems that runners
About to
are
get
getting
started.
ready to start their files.
Good luck to both of the runners.
Yeah. So it seems that we start. So yeah, the first trick that will come up really soon, it's a really flagship trick already for the for any category in this game, which is cock skip or cock skip, depending on how you want to call it. Yeah, really interesting trick. I believe that you can tell us a bit how that works. You made a video really recently going really on detail over it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, cock skip or cock skip is definitely it can be a pretty difficult trick to learn. But all it takes is a good setup and a little bit of practice, just some muscle memory, and you'll see that both runners are going to get into a position, probably different positions, and do the long jump backwards.
We see both runners getting it.
They get it first try, which is awesome.
I believe
Sometimes it can,
but yeah,
it could definitely throw you for a loop and cause you to go for a second attempt, but it saves so much time and it's such a short trick that in most instances you can get 2 or 3 attempts in before, if you're looking for a PB, you should probably reset. But it's definitely not hard after you get used to it.
Yeah, there are multiple setups. You went over a lot of them on your video. I go for a really strange one that I came up with along myself, which is doing a crowd jump. Basically, you can start a jump at full speed without running. Basically, you have to press the run button, but just by jumping and running from a crouch, you get full speed instantly without moving, and that's a bit handy too. So yeah, we see both runners already entering this 53-second cutscene that we cannot skip, sadly. Well, we can technically, although it's not useful for any percent, because you have to bring a lot of stuff from other files. So yeah, we don't do that on any percent. You found how to do that, but yeah.
Maybe one day we'll be able to skip it. Only a slight difference between the two runners right now, so
yeah,
we'll see how time starts to split up.
So let's see what runners do. Right now, here runners could be going for a strategy that I came up myself with. That it's early ascent, but we don't see them doing it. We could have seen basically Gymnast going for it because he's the one playing on version 1.0. It's possible still on other versions, although way less worth it and a lot harder due to slower duping and also slower monster jumps, which is this type of jump in which you can cancel a jump slash by just diving and doing repeated jump slashes in the air, and that's helpful for that strategy, which consists on basically getting all the way from the Room of Awakening to the Temple of Time without touching the ground, and that allows us then to void warp back to the Room of Awakening and get a bit earlier to the Ascent Shrine, which will be our first shrine. We will still be seeing the same strategy of void warping, but we will just be void warping to the current position in which the players are, which is here this construct that gives us the Purapad. We have to get the Purapad because there's this void barrier that doesn't get unlocked until we get it. So yeah, that's another thing that slows us a bit. But yeah, we will. Yeah, we saw the first thing, runners going for those wings at the start of Room of Awakening, not an intended thing, it's not the intended path, that's why we did the cock skip, but they come up pretty handy. We can see runners going really fast towards the Temple of Time just with the wing, instead of having to run all the way there, which is pretty slow.
It's always interesting to see the change in the strats, not only between versions, but between, in this competitive environment versus, trying to PB. You see people go for more consistent strategies and things that they know that they can get versus everything that saves a little bit of time, which is definitely something that's very important in a race setting.
So more use of wings here to get.
It looks like Sledgen's going to start his duping here.
Yeah, that's a big difference. As we said, there's not it's a bit slower to significantly slower to dupe Sony devices on version 1.1.0 compared to 1.0. 1.1.2 I meant. You have to do this meter throw duplication compared to just the source duplication that 1.0 has. So yeah. And we see that Sledgen also grabbed a bunch of mushrooms. I'm not exactly sure what will be the use of this. I don't know if it's just to deal with potential cold damage and just for consistency, or maybe it's for inventory shift duplication, which is a glitch that 1.1.2 has, which is a pretty decent way to dupe things that are not Sonai devices.
Which he still does have a few things he will need to dupe later on in the run. So hopefully, he's just grabbing those things to prepare himself for that.
So yeah, well, we see the difference that the duping makes. We see Gymnast already here on the entering the Ascent Shrine, while Sledgen already still on the bottomless cave. So yeah, the Ascent Shrine, the most straightforward one. Basically, we do everything as intended. We just run and ascend through it. There's not much else we can do right now. Doing it in another order could be useful for making the shrine faster, but as much as we tried, it ends up not being worth it, because it's really useful to start with Ascent because it's the higher shrine, so then you can go downwards to the rest. So yeah, since that this run, one thing that has is that it runs on a cycle. There's only there's this cycle that we cannot make for just by with the things that we have, which is basically just running without speed foot at this point, and without having a boat, which could be helpful too. At this point, we just can make this cycle, which has to wait a significant amount of time.
I guess it's interesting that Gymnast didn't grab the bow from that.
Yeah, that's
the construct.
Yeah, basically, Depends on the route that you're going. That bow can be really helpful for recent developed strats like SOAS. Having that bow, it's pretty good because then it allows you for really fast movement with a setup, and basically it allows you to have a rose magel, but we won't be seeing that here. There's a lot of ways to be able to achieve a rose magel in version 1.0. All of them require two bows. The one that you can obtain here in Ascent, and then one later that you can obtain in the few shrine, the following shrine. Technically, Sledgen could be going too for Arrow's Magel, because there's this strat like Arrow's Magel, which works. It's the only one I believe that works on 1.1.2 as well, but I doubt that we could be seeing. It's something that I don't believe it's quite really developed yet, at least at the point for runners to go for it. Well, yeah. At
It looks
least,
like Gymnast did use the amiibo and get both the Mighty Bananas and the Fleet Lotus. So
oh yeah, that's
he's
very
got
interesting.
his speed food and his attack up food, which he'll be pooping on the wings.
So we see here Gymnast going to Ponsafe Cave. This is pretty interesting. It will allow him to talk to this construct right here, which gives us the battery. It seems that it got scared by the wing, and Gymnast is a bit mad, so it's losing it a bit of time. It's losing him a bit of time. And yeah, it also allows us to get here in the cave the ruby, which we will be using in the army fight. I've seen sometimes Sledgen do here a route with the battery trickshot, which is another way to get the battery. I don't know if he's gonna go for it. It doesn't seem so. So yeah, I believe that's the route that he does for no amiibo. So yeah. But yeah, the battery trickshot basically is a way to get the battery just from the Ascent run, which is just throwing a wing capsule or another object to a fan that's on a raft right below, and that triggers the same dialogue with another construct that gives you the battery. So yeah, you can, if you don't want to go to Ponsafe Cave for any reason, you can do that, and it's just as fast. And yeah, you may wonder that why we want the battery, because you may know that the game forces the battery upon you once you complete the second shrine. But the thing is that cutscene that gives you the battery, if you haven't gotten it earlier, it's pretty slow. So yeah, doing this, even if it means detouring a bit, it's significantly faster. So we see here Sledgen getting the shield, and he's gonna probably cook something. He has access to speed food here
There we
and
go.
attack food from the amiibo. So he's doing the inventory inventory shift duplication, which is this that requires him to eat a full stack of something, and he can dupe 5 of another item. So yeah, with that, he got speed foot and attack foot. Pretty useful with the gym here on the fuse run, getting the key. And yeah, playing this cutscene right now, which is the Captain Construct cutscene. There's a way to skip this cutscene, but as far as we know, we can only do it if we have the arrow smuggle, and we can perform the arrow smuggle flight, which is this technique that allows you to basically, just as most door jumps that we talked about, it allows you to cancel a jump slash, but it allows you to hit way sooner, so you can actually gain height with it and not just maintain it. So yeah, you can basically, and it also allows you to conserve a lot more speed. So yeah, you can basically go really fast and keep yourself against the ceiling, and if you don't get low enough, you won't play the cutscene trigger. But since none of the runners are doing any arrow smile related stuff, we won't be seeing that, and we will be playing that cutscene. That it's not that big of a time loss. It just takes about 10 seconds, I believe.
We see Gymnast going under GSI to get over to Ultra Hand. This is part of the run that always makes me a tiny bit nervous. I mean, after doing it for a while, getting this ascend under Ultra Hand, it definitely shouldn't be hard. But for me, my nerves go up every time I get over here because it feels like there's so much to lose. So
yeah. So yeah, basically with a couple wings and a couple bomb jumps, you can basically go under GSI, and there you can just from below ascend to the shrine. I've never done it myself because I do another strat that I believe that I only do, which is over GSI, but truly over, because you can in 1.0 you have this thing that are the super bomb jumps, and by linking super bomb jumps, 5 of them on top of a wing each one, you can get high enough to then just descend with a single wing towards this shrine. I think it's about 10 seconds faster than under GSI, especially because although you have to do a bunch of menuing and it's pretty scary, the ascent animation takes a while, so if you can skip that, it's pretty fast. Still obviously slower than the arrow smuggle stride that other runners use, but since the arrow smuggle anyways takes plenty of time to set up, it ends up not that far away, at least on the context of just a GSI.
it looks like Sledgen's going to be going over GSI, or on it at least.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the first way to that we were doing. It's a bit safer, and it's a bit slower than the under GSI option. Although I believe he's gonna do under GSI, but only for the second half, I think.
Yeah, so it seems
Yeah.
like he's saving, a dupe, so he doesn't have to do maybe one or two dupes on that wing, which is definitely gonna help
So
out.
yeah, this is a bit slower, just a couple seconds. It's not that much slower, but yeah, you can just save a couple, save a dupe just by running a bit. And we see Gymnast here already on the Temple of Time, while Sledgen on the Ultra Hand Shrine. One thing to mention too is the fact that both runners have duped a wing to the respective shields. That's pretty useful. It's a well-known fact of the game, but yeah, duping a wing gives you a bit of a higher shield jump, and yeah, that's useful. It's not something that any of the world record meta uses right now, but still pretty easy and fast for this tournament setting right now. Oh, we see the Sledgen failing a jump. He's using the side of this platform here to getting easy. It's possible with speed to just do the jump, but it's a bit tricky. I've always been a little inconsistent with that, to just jump over the gap without the assistance of that platform.
The other finalist is Red Sleigh.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it was yesterday the other semifinals. It was Kentico against Red Sleigh, and yeah, Red Sleigh won. So the final is gonna be Red Sleigh against whoever wins today.
Ooh, looks like Sledgen.
Yeah. But he got a fall damage cancel. Pretty.
That's a
good
pretty clutch fall
save.
damage cancel there. I know I would have choked that and just died, so
Oh, yeah.
this is pretty impressive.
Yeah. So we see gymnasts here entering the Recall Shrine. Probably seeing pretty straightforward strats here, just recalling the rafts. Another shrine that goes on a cycle. Basically, you will see that there's these clock hands at the end that you have to recall, or either ultra hand, as we see. Yeah, you have to keep them together, and that will make the door open. So yeah, it goes a bit on a cycle. Even using ultra hand, it's cycle dependent, since if the both hands are too high, you can't reach them with ultra hand. So yeah, but he got a really fast cycle. You can get even faster cycles with other strats. Again, Rosmagel is pretty good for that. I like to do a strat with Sonai Storage, which is a glitch that allows you to place any Sonai device inside a shrine that you have previously stored outside. In this case, you can use actually a wing, so you can get faster to the end by doing a bomb jump and then staying on a wing till the end.
The gymnast is on his last run towards the Temple of Time.
Yeah. So yeah, we see gymnast right now entering the Temple of Time to get the extra heart from the statue while Sledgen is leaving to get to the last shrine of the Great Sky Island. The game really forces this with the door to have 4 hearts. So yeah, we need to do all these shrines. There doesn't seem to be any way to avoid that. Viewers might be familiar with this video that come out pretty recently from Terminal Montage, this parody of the Tears of the Kingdom speedrun, really funny. I definitely recommend to watch. And in that video, Link just smashes the statue to get the heart. We can sadly do that. We
It
cannot
would be
do it.
nice.
It
Maybe
would
he's
be nice.
predicting the future.
Yeah, maybe we can eventually find something like that. We haven't looked much into it. Maybe it's something. But well, we see here Gymnast finally finishing GSI. Time of 32 minutes and about 15 seconds. So yeah. He's gonna go straight towards the Hyrule Castle. And meanwhile, he's gonna be duping a couple rubies on the way.
I've always wanted to look into this, but I would imagine in some sense, other than the pausing to dupe, that the motion that the wing is actually doing, kind of pitching down and then pitching back flat, some of the speed of pitching down has to transfer into when it pitches back flat again. And so you would imagine to some sense it would be, it is slightly faster to have the wing do that motion versus, just a straight pitch down. Maybe I don't know aerodynamics, but
Yeah, I don't know. There's this alternative way to dupe that I thought that maybe it was faster, just but for the contrary reason, maybe because just going all the way down, it's helpful. But yeah, this we saw gymnasts there duping by just shield jumping. It's actually possible to dupe by diving. It was found by player 5, this duping, and I use it for GSI runs. It's pretty handy, although a bit hard. Especially for bombs, it's handy because it allows you to dupe 5 bombs at a time, which it's really hard with the shield jump. Because in 1.0 the dropping mechanic works a bit weird and you can get blown up really easily.
So Gymnast getting his infinite height clip through
Yeah.
the cave, through the well cave.
So yeah, it's time to get down. Right now there's this whole section of the game to get down the chasm, and that we can skip altogether just by clipping, and we will need to keep again since in this game all walls are double-sided. So yeah, once you're out of bounds, you have to clip back in bounds. Although clipping back in bounds will be a bit different since we don't have a ceiling here to do the infinite height. We're gonna abuse this ragdoll clip, and we see Gymnast doing it. So yeah, just by ragdolling there on a precise spot, he was able to get back in bounds and to the army fight.
And it looks like we're getting a little bit better at finding consistency around that spot, but there's still always a little bit of
Yeah.
tension there as to whether or not you're actually going to make it through.
So we see all the rubies here being utilized for the army. Pretty handy to kill the enemies. Basically, they deal a lot of damage, and also they have a really good attack area. So yeah, you can kill a lot of them in just one shot.
It looks like Gymnast picked up a bow there. Looks like he'll be using that for the Lizalfos.
That's interesting.
He does grab the horn, which he'll need for later. I suppose that, you know, potentially the bow, for one, maybe be a little bit more secure for doing army, which I know would make me feel better because Lizalfos always get me somehow.
Yeah.
But also, since he can't zuggle for Ganondorf, he'll need to be grabbing a few more objects than he's normally used to make sure that he can take down Ganondorf.
This Sledgen here duping the rubies with the method that 1.1.2 has, which is the inventory shift duplication. It requires you, to eat a stack of an item, but it's not that bad. And yeah,
Definitely, you know.
You as much and rubies as you can do on 1.0, just a bit slower. And we'll be seeing here Gymnast using the infinite height clip again. Basically, you can do these jump slash cancels to get height, and yeah, you can clip through the ceiling actually.
He's got a little bit of janky camera action going on.
Yeah.
The camera likes to be inbounds, so sometimes going through specific areas causes it to find its way back in there and get hung up on the walls on the inbounds.
This Legend here going for the ragdoll clip too, although he's going for a slight different setup, a bit slower, but yeah, he might find it way more consistent just by ragdolling with the shield there and falling instead of just doing it straight from a dive.
Gymnast gets his infinite height clip into the path to Ganondorf. Looks like he's gonna dupe a couple of extra black boss bokoblin horns.
He's haggling.
He's probably just duping the
Yeah, okay.
so that he can make a couple.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, we don't allow having the saggled weapons at the fight for this match, but yeah, of course we can just do the saggling here to have enough weapons since it takes a bunch of damage to kill Ganondorf, so yeah, that also means a lot of durability, so it's handy to have multiple ones. And yeah, actually, saggling I believe works all the way to 1.1.2, although the saggling, the effect that has saggling over Ganondorf, it's exclusive to 1.0 to stack the damage of different weapons. For some reason that was a soft patch on version 1.1. We see Sledgen dying here in army.
No.
That's rough.
But I do think he did get the autosave right above army, just in case. So
Oh,
he
yeah,
should
that-
be able to not have to redupe and do his clip right back in bounds.
Oh
Or he
yeah,
doesn't even
that,
have to clip. Yeah, he can just go right in.
yeah, that's pretty handy compared to just, yeah, it's, as I said, it's slower to do that clipping method, but it's on one hand easier, and on the other hand, yeah, the fact that you stay landed for a bit there, you can get the autosave, and if you die, you're ready to go for another try. Otherwise, you will need to repeat everything from the well in which they clipped
Yep.
for the first
Meaning he
time.
would have to redupe his rubies as well. So
Oh yeah.
gymnast on his last attack for Ganondorf.
Yeah. We really see that using any percent speedrun on 1.0, you can tell that that was significantly slower. So yeah, Sagel there saves a really huge amount of time. It was a pretty clean fight overall, I believe. So yeah, we're gonna see Demon Dragon, the final boss. Sadly, now that we don't have Saggled weapons, we don't get the funny cutscene in which he has the Saggled weapon in his hand. So usually if you have Saggled weapons there, you have the Master Spear that I like to call.
The spear's got to be uncomfortable in your head like that.
Oh yeah.
Sledgen just now finishing the army.
So yeah, we'll be seeing more infinite height clips here. And Gymnast already starting the Demon Dragon fight. He seems to be going for the 2-cycle strategy. So yeah, there's these eyes that are on the Demon Dragon's back. There's 4 of them. So in the 2-cycle strategy, you want to take down 2 of them before going back down to get grabbed by Zelda, and repeat that. I'm not really familiar with this, but I know how it works. But yeah, I don't have much practice with this part of the run.
It's like Sledgen's dealing with some little bit of camera movement.
Yeah. So let's see. Gymnast here looking for the third eye. He seems to be a bit far away. So yeah, this is not the two cycle that he wants.
Back to the casual strat.
Yeah.
Hoping Zelda drops you off at the right place.
Yeah. Three eyes down, one remaining.
For the dragon fight, it's kind of amazing that we found some sort of consistency within it, given that it does feel, casually, if you randomly jump and get Zelda to grab you, that you don't really have too much of an idea of where she's going to take you. And I actually spent
Ooh,
with
the gymnast dying there from fall damage, trying to get on a wing, but yeah.
I think he was trying to get a little bit more horizontal momentum to get to the eye a little faster.
Yeah. So yeah, well, maybe we will be seeing a two cycle now. Let's hope everything goes right this time.
Looks
he has
like
the opportunity to bring himself.
Sledgen unfortunately died on Ganondorf.
Oof, that's rough. Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit sad because yes, Sledgen had the opportunity there to try to keep up a bit with Gymnast, but dying doesn't help. Twice down again for the Gymnast. It looks like he's getting way better positioning this time. He's already done with the third eye, and he will be trying to reach the fourth one with a wing. Yeah, dying doesn't help. On this game. In other games does though. In Skyward Sword, actually, dying is pretty helpful. We wouldn't have back in time without that. But yeah, for the moment.
Yeah, looks like Gymnast got all the way to the end. Ooh,
Oh.
whoa, what? Zelda just flew through the head of Ganondorf and knocked Gymnast off of the last hit.
Oh my god.
Wow. That is some janky Zelda work I've ever seen. Holy moly. She's just like, nah, I don't really want you to finish this. The dragons are trying to stick together now. They're tired of it.
One last hit for the Demon Dragon. Oof, almost falling again there. He just goes for the a simple attack there.
Yeah, I
You
think he
can
was
see that-
trying to get the 8-second time save
Yeah.
by shooting a beam for the last hit, but
Yeah,
he
he's
was
getting a
unfortunately
pretty-
missing a heart. So
Yeah, he's getting a pretty long black screen there that you can avoid by killing the demon dragon while not being grounded, but yeah, without that full health it's a bit tricky, so yeah. But it seems that we'll be seeing a victory in this first round for Gymnast. There's not much that can go wrong here on this last segment to catch Zelda's hand. It's just diving and pressing A as the prompt shows up. Hello Magaina, welcome to the chat. Nice to see you here.
nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. And there we go with the
There we go. First match, victory of Gymnast, 50-11. So yes, Sledgen here fighting the Demon Dragon. I don't know if we're gonna let him finish or we're gonna just go for the next round.
yeah, the 52-11 is plus the intro, since the timer on
Yeah,
the ZSR bot timer started 7 minutes into the run.
yeah, of course. So yeah, since that's 6 minutes and 14 seconds, I believe, that we add for the intro played normally without the intro clip.
It looked like Sledgen was trying to go for the last part of the dragon strat.
Seems that he's getting dropped off
He's
here.
getting a little bit of
Yeah,
of a weird
pretty
spot.
far away. So he's gonna have to go back to Zelda once again.
Sledgen finishing the demon dragon.
Yeah, And Sledgen here about to finish. About to press the prompt. Time there. 56, 57, I believe.
So about a 450 difference, and seems mostly, due to the Ganondorf and the army mistakes, and
Slower version there, playing a factor there towards Legend there. All the slower duping for the wing, especially on GSI. Because otherwise than that, GSI was decent for both runners. But yeah. After that, especially for the army, for Sledgen and Ganondorf there, a bit of struggle there too for Gymnast on the Demon Dragon, but yeah.
All right.
Significant.
So with that, game 1 to Gymnast, we are going to take a few minutes break, probably about 5 minutes before game 2. Also going to run some ads in the meantime, just to knock pre-rolls off for anyone else who wants to come in. So if you need to get up, stretch, get something to drink, now's the time. We'll just sit right here for a few minutes, and we'll be back. Like I said, probably about 3 to 5 minutes, and we'll get started with game 2. All right, we are back. Welcome back, everyone, for Game 2 of this best-of-3 series, the semifinal between Sledgen and Gymnast. Gymnast taking Game 1. Ferris, Timber, how'd it look? How'd things go in that first game?
Well, pretty interesting game. Yeah, we saw a really big advantage there from Gymnast through the entire run. Really well played GSI overall. No major mistakes from any of the runners, but we clearly saw a difference due to the difference in game versions there, and that difference only got bigger through the rest of the run. Some mistakes from both runners, especially from Sledgen. Let's see if we can see some cleaner runs this time, and yeah, let's see if Sledgen can come back, or if Gymnast is gonna take it all.
Yeah, throughout both of their runs, there were there definitely some opportunities for improvement, but it was good to see that, in a perfect scenario, or missing getting through some of the things that Sledgen made mistakes on, which was Army and Ganondorf. If he were to clean that up, there was a pretty big potential for him to be pretty close
Oh yeah.
overall. So while the version differences do, I mean, there's obviously going to be some time change between them. I still think that with some good execution and good consistency, Sledgen still has a very good opportunity here.
Yeah, I believe so too. So yeah, we see both runners here. They are starting their game, rebooting their games. This is important. We only allow runs that started from a fresh boot of the game. So because you can preload certain areas if you don't restart the game, or even some cutscenes become skippable. So yeah, it's important to start from a new game, and yeah, we see both runners starting the game once again. So yeah, Gymnast here going once again for CSS, getting it first try. Let's see how Sledgen does. Trying to get the right position there. And barely made it. So yeah. Almost first try too for Sledgen. Gymnast running out of stamina there a bit.
Yeah, Fair, she seemed to be a little bit more ahead of me as well.
Okay, should be fine right now. So yeah, right now I'm seeing Gymnast getting to the chest.
Yeah, I just saw that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. It was a bit of a difference there, but it seems should be fixed right now, yeah, because I was a bit of ahead. So yeah, both runners here on the title cutscene. We saw Sledgen grabbing some mushrooms there. As we saw last run, they are pretty useful for 1.1.2 for inventory shift duplication. I don't think that we will be seeing any different strats. Both runners will be trying to just perfect what we've already seen. Not anything riskier. Gymnast here, going to the construct, just running. We see some alternative sprinting techniques. So yeah, it's some really small optimizations that you can do. You probably all know in the predecessor of this game, Breath of the Wild, we had the whistle sprinting, which was pretty handy, which allowed us to just instantly sprint at almost full speed, just by holding the sprint button, but we cannot do that on Tears of the Kingdom. It was patched, but runners found a way to still do some better stamina management than just running and walking. By what we are seeing the most is this crouching and throwing, alternating crouching and throwing and running. You actually manage a bit better the stamina, and you can get a bit faster speed on average.
Definitely one of the first things I tried when I started booted up Tears of the Kingdom was whistle sprinting.
Yeah.
This version of stamina management definitely isn't as convenient, but it does save a little bit of time overall. I think some runners do it, some runners don't. We've not approached, I think, a time in the overall category where it is absolutely necessary to do, but I think we are getting closer and closer to that unless we find more big time saves. So
yeah. Although on the other side, it's the time sim that it proportions. It's for the world records. It's every day a bit less because there's less running on the runs. We are finding a lot of different strategies. So
yeah, with the arrow flight.
Yeah, arrow flight or just wing strats. With a wing, you can just fly faster than running with speed 3. And we found also a couple places that we can actually make use of wings, even inside of rhymes. As I mentioned last run, there's this glitch that I really like, which is Sonic storage, and we can actually get faster movement in shrines even without arrows flight, just by using the wings inside. But yeah, seems that in this tournament setting we'll be seeing pretty standard stuff. So runners will be running, no pun intended, a lot. So yeah. Once again, we see here Sledgen, a lot of duping here with the middle throw duplication.
Finishing his dupe up.
Seems that the pace is pretty similar to where it was last run. We see Gymnast here entering the Ascent Shrine, while Sledgen almost at the bottomless cave.
Yeah, it looks like he landed a little bit lower than maybe he intended. I don't know if that's normal for the 1.1.2. He grabbed the pepper to make up for that half a heart.
Yeah, it's you have to manage really well the health for this route because you take a pretty good amount of cold damage on your way to ascend through here. So if you take a bit of extra damage or something, yeah, you need to grab some food or else you will die.
So far, it seems like they're still on the same pace they were for their first runs. I think it's interesting the kind of diversity of just route climbing. People have a couple of different options, and you know, maybe it's comfort or maybe it's belief of which one's faster. I'm not sure. But I do like when there are different paths like that, though. It always makes things a little bit more interesting.
I'm gonna be honest, I truly have no idea about route climbing because I started running GSI only after I developed early ascent, so I just went straight for that. So I've never, if I have to ever do the bottomless cave as a backup, I have no idea how to do that. I will have to improvise a bit based on what I'm seeing from runners do.
So at about the same time Gymnast is finishing Ascend, we have Sledgen starting it, and it's kind of neat that they're both stuck in a cutscene at about the same time. So
yeah, a bit annoying this cutscene at the end of the Ascent Shrine. Usually on the other shrines you are able to skip these cutscenes, but the game doesn't allow us to do that on the first shrine that we get to. So yeah, we have to wait a bunch of time there.
yep, you have to do the opening of the shrine and the end of the shrine cutscene, no matter which shrine you start on. And I found out too that it really doesn't matter which one you start on. Even if you were able to do one off of GSI, you'll still get you still can't skip the last cutscene.
That's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. So we see here Gymnast scanning amiibo, getting both bananas and Fleet Lotus, so he's...
Which is really good, the 3 bananas, meaning he'll only need to dupe them one time. I'm gonna figure out if this this motion the wing is doing, even if it's slightly faster. I just want to know, because I feel like it has to be. This time, not scaring the construct, able to get his battery right off the bat.
Yeah.
Grabbing his rupee while we're about to see the kind of luck Sledgen's gonna get on his.
Yeah. The bullfrog there got in the way. So we accidentally killed it.
I feel gymnast on killing those bats because if they follow you all the way out to the pod, it can definitely be a time loss.
Yeah, since you cannot hook if you have enemies nearby,
Yep.
killing them it's actually pretty smart. Surprised that Sledgen is not going more downwards with the nosediving, a lot more with the wing, since he doesn't have to do any duping in that section. He ended up a bit higher than when you usually want. Maybe he could have saved a bit of time just going
Jumping off a
and
little bit sooner, yeah.
and getting, and also the wing goes faster horizontally even if you are just more towards the nose. It's a bit scary though. I sometimes trying to go as much downwards as possible, you end up slipping off the wing. That's something that has happened to me a lot, especially with early ascent and the wing flip, that you want to get to the pyropod construct, but you also want to avoid autosave trigger that's there. So you try to get past the trigger and there nosedive as much as you can, but yes, falling, it's scary.
I love this little 1 rupee dupe that he does right before throwing one to kill those constructs. And even though it's a different dupe, it's still, you know, at a different place. And he will end up having 1 less speed food. It still seems pretty quick.
Yeah. The major issue is, having to get all the extra food to eat takes a bit more time. Duping just because you have to eat, and getting food also requires you to play the text boxes of the item.
To get that new item text box.
So yeah, each text box might take you a couple seconds each time you get one. So yeah, gymnast here exiting fuse. Right. While Sledgen is entering this shrine.
Gymnast kind of hopped over the back of the wing there just for a second, which is going to make him be just a little bit lower, but still plenty of space to go underneath GSI. Having speed food 3 and, you know, placing a wing and jumping on it is always so smooth.
Yeah.
Gymnast getting his under ultra hand ascend.
And we see, yeah, he just dropped an extra wing there to dupe, to fuse to the shield. It's gonna be handy now for the movement. There's a lot of gaps here in the shrine that you can jump over with the wing shield. And especially if you have it. Sledgen finishing fuse. We see that jump there that I said the run before. That's a bit scary. Getting that second over that second gap, even with speed foot, you have to have level 3. I believe with level 2 it's possible as well, although it's even more scarier. But yeah, with speed level 3 and the windshield, you can a bit more easily get over that. But yeah, not easy.
And I love the managing of the resources from Sledgen, I guess, in this run, going ahead and just fusing that wing versus having to dupe another one.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a given that the duping takes a little bit longer of Zone I devices, coming up with these strategies to avoid having to dupe one more wing in that scenario. So
They're asking
Definitely.
on the they're asking on the chat if the tournament is gonna be a best out of 5 or a best out of 3. It's still gonna be a best out of 3, even if runners play fast. So yeah, it's the decisive match here right now. We will see if it goes to another run or if Gymnast is gonna take it all if he wins this one.
About to see Sledgen start his Alter Hand run through, and last time he ran through this, he did not get the second jump on the first try. We'll see if he can make up that time on this one. Out of all the shrines, though, Ultra Hand always seems to be the one that looks the coolest.
Not getting it. Seems that
Fortunately not.
going like the past run.
And in my mind, that little jump off of that board on the wall is a lot like Cog Skip, because when he makes that angle back towards the gap, he's getting a speedier jump from having technically being running down a steep slope.
Yeah, in fact, I know it's actually possible, and I've got it, I think, 3 times only to do that. We clear that gap from the board on the wall without speed and just with a jump, with a backwards jump slash, just like in CSS. Although I found it extremely hard. I was investigating that for faster movement options in low percent, and there we don't have a shield or anything, so yeah. But it's extremely hard. So at the end, and I don't think it's that much faster than just moving one of the planks, one of the boards there with Ultra Hand and just jumping from it.
Gymnast starting his recall shrine. Gonna speed through it pretty normally. It's the timing of getting through this isn't. Ooh, we got that weird dive. That was interesting. That was cute. But the timing of this isn't too bad if you kind of pay attention to where the platform is. You'll know when to start that recall. But he gets through it fast enough to be able to ultra hand the clock together and not have to wait to recall it.
And we see gymnasts here exiting the cave here and then teleporting towards the Ultrahan Shrine. That's because we found out that you can actually get a faster load from outside the cave for some reason. Although that's, I believe, only worth it if you have the speed. So you can get faster from the cave. Otherwise, just tipping from when you exit the shrine is faster.
And is that something that they would do on all versions, or is it a 1.0 thing? Because I know there's the difference.
That's a good question. I actually don't know. I believe, versions later than 1.0 really have loading differences, and we see that on other loading optimizations like the one on Demon Dragon, that it definitely behaves differently, staying grounded or not. But I think this actually works similarly on all the versions.
So gymnast on the last run to the altar. Almost done with GSI. His last time was 32:15.
11.
11.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, you're right. 32:15 was.
So he was about 10 seconds faster than his previous one.
We saw some interesting movement there toward to the altar at the end, with one wing. And usually you're intended there to use Ascent a couple times, but you can actually keep that entirely.
So it did look like Sledgen ran out to also get that time save or loading time save. So
also in 1.1.2, it's the same.
Sledgen, on the last attempt, he did miss that wing, the final wing to TOT with the Temple of Time. And this time he did get it, so that should be a good time save for this round.
The gymnast guy here getting on the well to get the infinite height clip. There's a quite variety of spots we know in which we can actually do this clip to get to the depth. This was the first one. Usually, well, recently other routes have been using different spots to smuggle routes, because you can roll less arrow flight, which is faster, and then get back the arrows to clip in that same spot. There's also a spot in a cave right below Hyrule Castle, which is useful if you want to get a topaz that you can get in the Citadel, if you don't want to get the Ruby in GSI, although I don't believe many runs are going for that.
Gymnast did get his well clip on the first try, which on the previous attempt he had to do it on the second time up there. So that's a little time save for him on this round as well. And now he starts his army.
Once again, throwing all the rubies that we've duped here. A bit of a scary moment. One ruby can one-shot you if you throw it incorrectly, but runners are pretty experienced with that, so we hope there's not any issue. Once again, grabbing a bow, so yeah, that's gonna...
Yeah. From the last run, it appears maybe he grabbed this bow to help with the army fight, because I didn't see him use it after the army fight, so...
Yeah, no, we see him right now, yeah, using it for the Lizalfos, which is pretty interesting, and yeah, you can probably manage better your distance from them with the bow, just shooting the rubies, and it's a bit safer.
Feels a little safer, but still always a little bit of tension there.
Yeah.
So we're watching Sledgen get down into the well, and he will need to dupe his rubies.
Here the gymnast on the third phase. We have these Gyptos here that it's pretty useful to have the rubies here, because they only take damage basically if you can from elemental damage. So yeah.
One more dupe for Sledgen. Now Gymnast finishing army's got to do his infinite height clips. I think on the last run, I mean, these are definitely the spots where, you know, time could be lost. And on the last attempt, he did get this one pretty early, but the second one did take a little bit more time with some weird camera jankiness. So we'll see if he's able to make up a little bit of time on this run.
Both runners doing here infinite height clips. At the same time, Sledgen on the one to clip in the depths.
Sledgen's slowing down before going over that edge. I'm not sure if that's like a version difference thing. Why he decides to take that edge a little bit slower. It looks like he'll be doing the Mazdoor jumps to get over the position in which he will be getting his autosave.
Yeah.
Gymnast getting through both of his infinite height clips pretty quickly. heading into doing a little bit of dupes to get ready for Ganondorf.
So yeah, we see Sledgen here, getting close here to the wall, till he sees, yeah, the depth message there, so that means that he got the autosave, there it is. So yeah, he's now safe to get into the army, and if he dies, he can respawn right there.
Yeah, given that he's on the 1.1.2, he would need to redupe. So having that kind of security is definitely a must. Being able to start right at army if anything were to go wrong.
Gymnast here fighting Ganondorf again with the flurry rushes. Seems like Sledgen here going for this strat to kill the boss bokoblin by getting it to chase you towards the edge of the arena, and then you can just do a bomb jump and you push it to the void.
Yep.
So yeah, that's
Another example of having to manage your resources a little bit more. You can only dupe so many rubies.
Yeah.
And then, so instead of using a bunch of rubies to kill the boss bokoblin, he'll knock it off the edge.
Mhm.
And like Mage said in the chat, I did see Gymnast use the bow to hit Ganondorf's weak spot, which kind of stopped him from doing a little bit longer of an attack and had him come right in to clean it up. So. Sledgen in the last phase of army, and Gymnast in the last phase of Ganondorf.
May not seem so because Gymnast has the health bar still loaded from Colgera that he skipped. But yeah, he's fighting Ganondorf and he's actually dealing damage, although it doesn't seem so, and yeah, he just killed it. Kill him.
Sledgen getting his first infinite height clip. Little bit of a fall at the beginning, but still pretty quick. Earlier, his last attempt, he definitely had a lot of weird camera angles trying to get this last one. So we'll see if he's able to make up that time. And he's through. That's definitely a lot quicker than last time, especially not having to redo army too. So getting to Ganondorf this early is definitely definitely keeping him in the game.
Yeah. He needs Gymnast to commit some kind of mistake here in the Demon Dragon, but he definitely has more chances than in the past run. Doing some meter through duplication here of some corns. Eating the attack up foot and going to fight Ganondorf and Gymnast. Also already almost going to start the Demon Dragon fight. First die for Gymnast. And first phase of Ganondorf for Sledgen. Gymnast getting to that second eye. He fused one of the horns that he got from Army there to deal more damage on the fight, and yeah, he can kill Ichai with way less hits.
Yeah, I suppose the Sledge did miss grabbing the Bospelgoblin horn because he's using the Black Lizalfos horn.
Oh, yeah.
He did do a. So it's probably going to be a little bit less damage than he's used to, but he is going for shooting the weak spot on Ganondorf as well, so. Gymnast on the way to the final eye. Looks like he got knocked out, so I don't know if he'll be going for he won't be able to go for that early final eye or hitting the gym strat. But maybe this time it means that Zelda won't try to knock him off the head.
Yeah.
I hope somebody clipped that. I want to see that again. That was definitely wild, having Zelda fly over there like that. Getting through this final move from the Demon Dragon.
That's the most that I need, but to be fine, yeah.
Ooh.
Got knocked
Yeah,
out
he's still on there.
He's still there, yeah. And he killed him. Getting the 8-second black screen again there.
Yeah, unfortunately he did not have the heart.
I don't think he cares that much. He's already done with the run, basically. And Sledgen still. He got a bit of a slow screen there, but Sledgen already going to start the Demon Dragon fight. While Gymnast going to grab Zelda's hand. And GG for Gymnast. He's gonna be our second finalist. With a 48-28. That's pretty good, like almost 4 minutes faster than his previous run. So yeah, we'll be seeing tomorrow a final between Redsley and Gymnast. And hello, Gymnast.
Hello.
How do you feel about that?
That run was alright for the most part.
Yeah.
Biggest mistake, the just demon dragon.
And what happened in the demon dragon?
On the third, after hitting the third eye, I just got thrown off the wrong direction. So I was able to make it to the fourth eye in time, but then I had to wait an entire extra cycle to actually finish off the tier on his head because he went into... He essentially went into, like, a cycle as if he still had an eye on him because of how late I killed the fourth eye.
Mm-hmm.
And when he does that, it's pretty unlikely that you'll be able to hit the crystal off. So...
Before he knocks you off. Did, I mean, before when you got there to hit the crystal on his head the last time, he tried to shoot you off again.
Yeah, that was also weird. But thankfully, didn't happen there.
How do you feel about your GSI overall?
GSI was, I don't really think I have much to complain about. Like it was just what I would expect of myself. Yeah. I mean, I'm not doing any of the arrow smuggling or arrow flight stuff, so it's GSI is generally easier than doing it with that stuff. So
yeah.
And how do you feel about in this run not being able to do all the haggling for the Ganondorf fight?
yeah, I mean, it wasn't. It's not a whole lot different than just just parry his attacks, make sure that you don't get killed by the clones. Because we kind of did like similar strats when the game first came out for Ganondorf before we knew that like we could Zuggle attack on him, so it was kind of just similar to back then. So I kind of already had some practice with it.
We saw you grab a bow in army. You usually do that on runs too, or that's for this?
That was just because we didn't have Ganondorf Zuggle.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
We see Sledgen here finishing with the Demon Dragon.
Jim, do you think you'll be sticking with kind of the run you did today for going against Red Sleigh tomorrow, or do you think you'll change anything up to try to get a little bit more time out of it?
No, I don't think. I mean, I have started practicing the arrow smuggle stuff, but I don't think that if I were to do it tomorrow, it would actually benefit me very much in the race. So I'll probably just stick with the route that my PB does, basically.
Definitely understandable, and I mean, you're always after that consistency, whatever actually has the greatest chance of working out for you. Because, I mean, as we saw in you guys' last, you and Sledgen's fight before this one, there were definitely a few slip-ups here and there, and it could, things like that could make or break the difference between the two. So it's definitely consistency is the key when you're racing.
Yeah.
And that's time for Sledgen. 4702 without the intro, so a 5320.
Hello.
And hello, Sledgen.
Hey, Sledgen.
Hello. GG's.
GG.
Yeah. I'm happy with that second race. Not so much the first one.
Yeah, we saw you struggle a bit with army there, but yeah, everything in the second run was an improvement over the first one. So yeah.
Yeah. In Demon Dragon, however, the Light Dragon did this thing I've never seen before, and it like had a different position going into the third eye. But and yeah, the army death was really unfortunate. The Ruby just barely hit me. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with my time in the second race.
Nice to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for someone that has to play on, 1.1.2, you definitely made it pretty far in this this whole tournament. So definitely something to be proud of.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
to make it this far is brilliant. But yeah, GG's to Jim, and good luck against Red Slay in the final. That's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, excited to get those underway tomorrow. Hopefully will be some close races.
But yeah, it was pretty fun.
It was indeed.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Just GG's again. And
Yeah.
we'll see what happens tomorrow.
GG's to you both.
GG's to
GG's.
both.
Yeah.
3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Red Slay versus Jim.
Jim.
Jim. Yeah. Hey, it's almost 5 o'clock. No, Red Slay versus Jim tomorrow. Best of 3 for the tournament finals. Right here on the main channel. Hopefully, we will see you there. Any final thoughts before we head on out for the night?
Not for me. You got any, Sledgen?
Make sure to hit the bad guy in the head.
Yeah, that is a very good piece of advice. I'll be sure to do that.
Well, if for some reason you aren't following either runner, please fix that now. Sledgen and Jim, both an amazing performance today. Our commentators as well, Timber and Ferris Cube, thank you both for being here.
For sure.
Yep.
Sure, yeah.
We are going to head on over to ZSR 3 for the Skyward Sword randomizer, weekly race in progress. But again, 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, that's... Oh god, I have to do math. 8 p.m. or 2000 UTC, 2100 CET. There's too many Germans around here. I'll figure all that out. But yeah, 3 o'clock Eastern, we will see you for the finals. Until then, thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Stay safe. We'll see you back tomorrow. Have a good night.
See you. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.